Hey, this is a fast tutorial how to paint a wall without using masking tape. So this is the wall I want to paint, a little brighter. These are my color swatches I added on the wall already to be sure what paint color I like. So how do you start? You need a brush, you need a step ladder or stool to reach all the way to the ceiling. You need some plastic foil, and of course you need your paint color, paint tray, and your roller. So these are all the essentials. How do we start? With the brush, an angled brush, and you paint all around your trims, the baseboard, the corners, the edges, the ceiling. You dip your brush into the paint, and then you just lay the brush onto the wall. You see how I do that? Like this. And then you just paint. Either you bring the brush down and use enough paint so it covers well, and add color, paint color on all the edges and the corners you won't be able to reach with your roller. I don't use masking tape because it's just not working for me. It takes a lot of time to add masking tape, and at the end it's still not 100% perfect. So I rather use an angled brush and take the time to add the paint color all around the corners, and it makes it so much easier afterwards to paint with the roller, because I'm not going to mess up the ceiling or the baseboard because the paint is already on there with the brush, and I won't touch the ceiling or the baseboard with the roller. So again, just bring the paint on, use enough paint, so you need to do that only once, and just bring the paint on all the corners. So do everywhere up to the ceiling, around the baseboard, and then you can actually start using the roller. Before you do that, make sure the wall is clean, has no holes, or has no dust, no grease on it. Wipe it down with some warm water to be sure it's clean. Oh, here, 2 holes. Okay, what am I going to do with them? I'm going to put some toothpaste in them because I don't have anything else here right now. So that's an easy tip. If you have little holes, just use a little toothpaste and push it into the hole, let it dry for a couple of minutes, and then you can actually paint over it. That's easy for covering small holes. So if you have bigger holes, you can't do that, but for little tiny holes, that's a good tip to do. So the wall looks good and is clean, and now we can start with the roller. And here is my roller, and I show you how to add the paint on there. So you just roll the roller inside the paint. You see that? You roll it inside and be sure the whole roller is covered with paint. But don't add too much so it's not dripping down, and don't add too little so it doesn't cover. So you have to practice that a little bit, but it's actually very easy to do. So, and now you just paint your wall up and down, always go in one direction. Don't use a lot of pressure, okay? So you just roll the paint on the wall, that's it. So this is already done with that roller. The paint, you need more paint. You see it doesn't cover that well anymore. So we need to get more paint on the wall. Here we go again. We bring the roller into the tray and roll the paint onto the roller. Don't put too much paint on it. Shouldn't drip. Just easy, roll it up and down. Also, a good tip is don't save money on buying paint. If you buy really cheap paint, you're going to end up needing to do 2 or 3 covers. So buy a Sherwin-Williams or Behr paint, and you almost all the time you just need 1 cover if you're not going over a very dark color. So you just saw, because we did that brush down to the baseboard, we can roll the roller now all the way down without touching the baseboard. So that means you don't need to clean your baseboard afterwards from the paint. That's the exercise what we did before with the brush. So you can roll the roller all the way up to the ceiling without needing to touch the ceiling, because you have already painted the corner up there. So once again, we roll up and down, and always just roll in one direction. If you roll sideways and horizontal, vertical, all the way around, you are going to see that afterwards. So roll it up and down. Very easy, no pressure. And if you use a good paint, you will be able to do that wall with one cover only. See, it doesn't drip. That's enough paint on there. And start where you stopped before, so you have the whole wall covered. Always go over it so you don't have any running paint down the wall. So be sure the paint is on there smooth and evenly. So just check it, and then you can roll over it again, and that's the way you paint a wall. Pretty easy. And this is how it looks when it's done. I added a poster already. You see, looks pretty good.